Hello and welcome. I am glad you've joined me today. Time is precious, isn't it? Yet it's one of the most mismanaged resources we have. But today, we're going to dive deep into an ancient philosophy that can bring us to a whole new level of understanding on the topic. I want you to sit comfortably and clear your mind, because we're about to embark on a journey with a wise old man from Rome. His name is Seneca, and he will be our guide through the labyrinth of time management, viewed through the lens of Stoicism. Just imagine, if you will, walking through Rome nearly 2,000 years ago. Dust from the forum's cobblestones rises as a bustling crowd moves through the marketplace. The noise and chaos of civilization seem overwhelming, yet there is a man, Seneca, in his quiet study, contemplating the nature of existence and specifically the nature of time. You see, Seneca lived by the principles of Stoicism, a philosophy that emphasized self-control, fortitude, and wisdom as paths to a virtuous life. It's a philosophy that teaches acceptance of what we can't change, and the strength to change what we can. Seneca considered time to be the most valuable asset a person could ever possess, more valuable than wealth, status, or power. Why? Because time, once spent, can never be reclaimed. Now you may be wondering, how does one manage time from a Stoic perspective? Let's dive deeper, and I promise you, this journey will not be a waste of your time. In his essay on the shortness of life, Seneca states, "It is not that we have so little time, but that we lose so much. The life we receive is not short, but we make it so. We are not ill-provided, but use what we have wastefully." What did Seneca mean by this? You see, we often worry that our lives are too short, that we don't have enough time to do everything we want. But Seneca challenges this perception. He suggests that we do have enough time. Our lives are abundant with it. The issue lies in our misuse and waste of this precious resource. Let's consider this. We spend time worrying about the past, about mistakes, about missed opportunities. We spend time fretting over the future, creating hypothetical problems, dreaming of unattainable goals. But the past is immutable and the future is uncertain. What we do have control over is the present. And this is where the heart of Stoicism lies. Focus on the present, for that is the only thing you truly own. But focusing on the present doesn't mean neglecting your past or ignoring your future. It means learning from your past, planning for your future, but living in your present. It's here that you interact with the world, make decisions, and shape your life. But we get caught up in the illusion of infinite time. We delay, procrastinate, and let life pass by while we are entangled in trivial matters. We say, "I'll do it tomorrow," or maybe next year. But think about it. How many tomorrows came and went without any action? How many next years became this year, then last year, with nothing to show? Seneca warns us about this deception. He wrote, "You are living as if destined to live forever. Your own frailty never occurs to you. You don't notice how much time has already passed, but squander it as though you had a full and overflowing supply." We have this incredible gift of life, of time, yet we treat it like it's inexhaustible. We need to remind ourselves that our time is finite. This is not a gloomy view, but rather a call to action, a push to make our lives meaningful and filled with purpose. Each moment we live is a moment we will never get back. This realization should inspire us to live each moment with intention. But living with intention requires wisdom and discernment. We must learn to separate the trivial from the significant. Too often, we clutter our lives with things that don't matter, and they consume our time and energy. We must learn to let go of these unnecessary burdens. We must focus our attention and effort on what truly matters to us, on what brings us joy, on what makes us grow. But how do we decide what matters? This requires self-reflection and introspection. You must ask yourself, what do I value? What are my passions, my goals? What kind of person do I want to be? What legacy do I want to leave behind? The answers to these questions will guide you in deciding what deserves your time. Seneca says, "It is generally agreed that no activity can be successfully pursued by an individual who is preoccupied, since the mind when distracted absorbs nothing deeply, but rejects everything which is, so to speak, crammed into it." This is a profound truth. Multitasking is a myth. When we attempt to do everything, we end up achieving little. Focus is the key to efficiency, and it's impossible to focus when your attention is divided among numerous tasks. Now, let's address the elephant in the room: distractions. We live in an era of information overload, where digital notifications constantly demand our attention, where every minute seems to offer a new piece of news or gossip. How did Seneca approach this issue? He was no stranger to distractions, despite living in an era vastly different from ours. Even then, people were caught up in gossip, social obligations, and petty squabbles. His advice was simple yet powerful. Avoid getting caught up in things that don't concern you. Or in his words, ignore the noise. Ignoring the noise doesn't mean isolation or indifference to the world. It means not letting the unimportant and uncontrollable steal your time and energy. It means not getting swept away by every wave of news or gossip. It means maintaining your focus on what truly matters. So far, we've talked about focusing on the present, understanding the finite nature of our time, discerning what truly matters, and avoiding distractions. Now let's move to another critical aspect: patience and the acceptance of life's pace. As a Stoic, Seneca understood that we couldn't control everything. Some things just take time, and we need to accept this. As he wrote, "It is the sign of a great mind to prefer things in measure to things in excess." In our fast-paced world, where we're constantly striving for more, faster, better, this is a challenging concept. We're driven by a need for immediate gratification, but rushing through life leads to mistakes, stress, and burnout. The Stoic approach is to understand that things take as long as they take. Accepting this allows us to work at a natural pace, free from unnecessary stress, which in turn increases our efficiency and our enjoyment of the process. So how do we apply Seneca's wisdom and Stoic principles to our lives? Start by paying attention to how you spend your time. Are you living in the present, or are you lost in past regrets or future anxieties? Are you focusing on what truly matters, or are you caught up in the trivial and mundane? Are you keeping a clear mind, or are you swept away by distractions? Are you rushing through life, or are you accepting its natural pace? It's not about transforming overnight, but about making small, conscious changes every day. You may start by dedicating some quiet time each day for reflection. It might be 10 minutes, or it could be an hour. The important thing is to make it a daily practice. This habit will offer clarity, helping you to better understand yourself and your relationship with time. Use this time to examine your day. How did you spend your time? What did you achieve? What could you have done better? Don't judge, just observe. This process is not meant to create regret, but to foster understanding and growth. Next, plan your future time, not in the anxious, fretful way we often do, but with calm intention. Decide on your goals and the steps you need to take to achieve them. But remember, the focus is not on the end goal, but on the process, the present actions that will get you there. Then, as you go through your day, practice being present. If you're working, focus on your work. If you're with your family, give them your full attention. If you're relaxing, truly relax. Do not let your mind wander to other things, pulling you away from the moment. When distractions arise, acknowledge them, then let them go. Don't get swept up in the wave of information and drama that our world throws at you. Choose what to engage with carefully. This does not mean being ignorant of the world. It means understanding what is truly important and what is just noise. And finally, practice patience. Understand that you cannot rush life. Goals take time to achieve. Skills take time to develop. Relationships take time to build. Accept this, and you will find a peace that greatly enhances your life experience and the management of your time. In conclusion, managing your time is not about squeezing every second out of the day. It's not about rushing from one task to another, always worried about the ticking clock. It's about understanding the value of time, focusing on the present, deciding what matters, avoiding distractions, and accepting life's pace. As Seneca said, life is long if you know how to use it. So, I invite you to take these principles to heart. Don't just rush through life. Live it, experience it, savor it. Because a life well lived, no matter how long or short, is a life worth living. I hope this conversation has sparked a change in perspective, and I encourage you to take some time today for quiet reflection. Remember, each moment is a gift, a piece of time that once gone can never be reclaimed. So make it count. After all, we're all time's caretakers, and it's our responsibility to spend it wisely. Thank you for sharing this journey with me, and until next time, remember, the time is now.